Hey there, it's me again. I wanted to talk today about what I've been doing in marketing as far as Twitter. And I have been building my Twitter presence for about a year now and a half. And I started kind of just to explore Twitter. And that kind of carried me on a wave of the writing community of like, here's this going on and here's that going on. And I would hop into like different events that were going on and participate. And I loved it, but it wasn't very intentional. And I didn't seem to have any control over my engagement. And so I started to study a few things, like good times to pitch on Twitter and what worked in other accounts, like what other people do. And I started to invest in some books that would talk about branding. I've been in sales I was in sales for 7 years before I was a teacher. And, some might even say that teaching is a bit of sales because you got to sell kids ideas that they don't even get to use for several years. So much of my life has been kind of working with people and getting them either what they needed as far as a product or to learn something they needed as far as an education. And so I started to apply those skills, and it's funny, I'm very compartmentalized, and so like I think of my book world as like this one world, and nothing that happens in there ever affects any of the other worlds, and so then I'll be home and I'm mom and I'll hit a problem that I could easily solve as a teacher, but I'm not going to use my teacher brain for that, and same with my teaching, I don't always bring my mom brain into that, and so I've had to work on merging some of those boundaries and helping myself and others through doing that. And so this whole first year, I kind of forgot that I'd been in sales, and number one in sales for that matter. I had sold for Dell Computers, and then I also sold on Music Row in Nashville for Warner Music Group. And so, and I'd been number one in both of those places for periods of time, and so I could sell, but I didn't really bring that ideology into what I was trying to do on Twitter. And I will say what happens when you don't do that is you kind of end up at a loss for what's going on. You kind of ride these waves of what other people are doing, but it's not necessarily driving traffic to you, and you might happenstance upon several people, and definitely you can build a following, no problem. But the question becomes, will that following purchase anything you've written? And so I just wanted to talk a little bit about branding and intentionality about what you do on Twitter, because it is kind of your advertisement. It is your history. The publishers and agents and the people who are looking at you, one of the first things they're going to check out is, what have you been posting? What has been your engagement? How many people are following you? And I know, like a lot of people say, it's not a numbers game. It's not. But reality is you do want more than one person to buy your book. And so you don't want to treat it like it's a numbers game, because it's not a numbers game. They're people, and people are important. But you do need to be intentional about growing that presence and adding value to the community you're a part of. And so what that looks like for me is I have started to be very intentional about what I post. I have a schedule that I follow. Oops, my book's over here. Hold on. I have a schedule that I follow, and I write down what I'm posting and why, and then I also track what's successful. And you can do whatever level you're comfortable with, but this is just kind of the meanderings of my mind. And so what I do is I research the popular times, or the most prevalent times that people use Twitter, and then I write down those times, and next to it I intentionally post a tweet. Now I may naturally tweet at another time during that period of time, but these are tweets that I'm intentional about. They add something to the community, or they show something about who I am as an author that I want out there, that people can hopefully resonate, that people that would follow me or want to buy my books. And so then after the week is over, I go back through and I circle the most popular tweets, where the engagement was up, and I felt like, people really responded, so that I can start to study what people want from me, what things resonate with others. And so this is this week's schedule, and this was last week's schedule, and then I kind of build from there. But I also have, there's some flexibility. Like, I don't just say, okay, I'm always going to do book reviews for others. So like last week I did my 5 o'clock slot was mostly book reviews for others. It was just about books that I was reading or books that I loved. And then this week's is different. It's kind of got a theme, and so I'm like doing Tuesday takeout. So like it's going to be words you have to take out of your manuscript often, because you know we all have those, or whipping it up Wednesday. What are you guys cooking? You know, something as simple as that. And Thrilling Thursdays, like I'm really thrilled about, you know, some of the stuff that I've sent out, and I'm really hopeful on it. Anyhow, the point being, when people engage and watch this, I want them to know something about me. And when you post something to Twitter, your goal is for your audience to learn something about you. For me, it's really important for people to feel like that it's a safe space for them to learn, that there's kindness, that there's hope. These are themes that run in the books that I write, and that I want to spread. It's something that I'm very passionate about, is in a world that there's kind of a lot of darkness. I want there to be light. It's a big theme in one of my first book. I also do a lot about writing inspiration, writing muse, writing motivation, other people who motivate you, other people who help you, and just kind of building that concept. Oh, I've gone on too long. It's 6 minutes. So anyhow, I could talk forever. Honestly, I'm sorry. But today, I just wanted to share with you a little bit about how I use Twitter. I hope this was helpful. Oftentimes I don't even think, I just do the things that I do, and then I don't really think it might help somebody else. So if there's something you have a question about, or you would like more information about, or if I've said something that sparked something that helped you, I would love to know these things. Please let me know. You can contact me on Twitter at JL Burrows Author. And I hope that this helps somebody out there. So be blessed. This is JL Burrows, Jennifer Lynn Burrows, signing off.